Present day Starland. Starling Academy was positively glowing. The buildings, the fountains, the trees, and even the moving sidewalks. The cosmic transporter looked more dazzling than they had in recent memory. Off in the distance, the crystal mountains also appeared to stand a bit taller, prouder, and brighter as a reflection of their multicolored peaks bounced off the shimmering azure surface of the luminous lake below. All signs of negative wish energy that had plagued everything from the fruit orchards to the Starling Academy students themselves had faded away, almost as if the whole crisis had been nothing more than a bad dream. And it was entirely thanks to the Star Darlings. Have you ever seen the campus look more beautiful? Marveled Sage. Her long lavender braids were also shinier than they had been in quite some time, and they bounced behind her as she and the other Star Darlings hurried past classmates who were heading to the Celestial Cafe for dinner, instead of going to their own evening meal. However, the girls were on their way to Lady Stella's office. The headmistress had summoned them on their Stars app, instructing them to join her right away for an important meeting. In spite of the urgent tone of the holotext, Sage felt certain that Lady Stella simply wanted to congratulate the Star Darlings again on their successful completion of their top secret wish mission. Together they collected enough positive wish energy to help ensure that everything on Starland would be powered for countless star years to come. I've never seen the world look more beautiful, said Sage's roommate, Cassie, her eyes widen with delight behind her star-shaped glasses as the girls continued along the cosmic transporter. It is super celestial, but how long do you think this meeting's gonna last? Tessa wondered. I'm hungry, just like her gourmet chef mother. The emerald-haired third-year student was almost always thinking about food. Do you think she's got more wish missions for us? Asked Libby. It had been a long while since she had gone on her journey down to Wish World, and as exciting as it was to know that all 12 Star Darlings had completed their missions, she couldn't wait to go on another one. I doubt she'll send us down again so soon, said Scarlet, in her usual surly way, shoving her hands into the front pockets of her sparkling red hoodie and rolling her eyes as the girls made their way to the Hollow Hall. A few moments later, they arrived at the door to Lady Stella's office, which was cracked open in anticipation of their visit. Girls! The elegant headmistress stood up from her desk, breathing a sigh of relief as she smoothed down the fabric of her sparkly silver gown. I thought you would never get here. Come, let's go down to the Wish Cavern at once. I knew it! Libby tossed her long bubblegum pink hair proudly as she shot a triumphant smile in Scarlet's direction as Lady Stella opened the hidden door in her office wall. Why else would they be going down to the Wish Caverns unless they had more missions for them? The girls followed their headmistress down the secret staircase to the dark caverns beneath the school. shivering as they made their way through the chilly air, past the dripping rock formations, and towards the door to their own secret wish house. It was a special room that had been built exclusively for the Star Darlings and their unique, powerful wish missions. But unlike the times they had been in the wish house before, this time at the foot of a large, golden waterfall, in the gleaming, light-soaked room, a round table had been set up with all sorts of treats, including an enormous zooberry cake and fancy crystal glasses full of sparkling pucker-up juice at each place sitting. Above the table, a giant hollow banner floated in midair, embezzled with large, glittery gold letters that spelled out the words "Congratulations, Star Darlings." Well, girls, this is quite a memorable day, indeed, Lady Stella began, as they all settled in their chairs, which immediately adjusted to the respectful height and weight for optimal comfort. The headmistress raised her tall, delicate glass. "I can't begin to tell you how pleased I am with each of your accomplishments. Thanks to your hard work and diligence in completing your wish missions, there is now more positive wish energy on Starland than ever before." All the girls exchanged excited glances, beaming with pride, as they too raised their glasses and each took a sip. "Star salutations, Lady Stella," they replied, almost perfect unison. "And to you," Lady Stella said softly, as she cut into the cake, serving each girl a generous slice, and encouraging them to eat, which they were more than happy to do. After all, it was highly unusual for young Star Darlings to be permitted to have dessert before dinner. As the girls happily chattered, reminiscing about some of the best parts of their missions, Lady Stella glanced around the table at each one of them with a faraway look in her eyes. "Why aren't you eating?" Tessa asked the headmistress between bites. Lady Stella pressed her bright red lips together before attempting a smile, but it was no use. She couldn't prolong with them. "Star Darlings," she said, inhaling deeply and closing her eyes for a moment. "We do have much to celebrate, but I suppose I should also tell you that even greater challenges may lie ahead for us all." The celebratory mood in the air suddenly became thick with nervous energy. What was the headmistress referring to exactly? As you know, everyone at Starling Academy was completely deceived by Lady Cordial, who was our director of aberrations. She was someone I trusted and valued as one of my closest confidants. Lady Stella sighed and shook her head as she stared down at the table. "I genuinely believed that she was our friend, but in fact, she was not Lady Cordial at all. She was Rancora in disguise." As soon as Lady Stella mentioned that dreadful name, the golden light in the wish cavern flickered and dimmed ever so slightly, and the Star Darlings felt an icy chill run down their spine. They frowned and nodded solemnly, although they had managed to avoid discussing Lady Cordial for the past week. They of course knew at some point her name that far more terrifying name of Rancora would come up again. They had simply hoped it wouldn't be quite so soon. But she's gone now, Gemma pointed out, her wavy orange ponytail glimmering. Well, yes, she has left Starling Academy, that is true, Lady Stella acknowledged. However, we don't know where she's gone or what she might be planning to do next. So although I'm hopeful that she will keep her distance and stay far, far away from the school grounds, I believe that she may be planning something bigger, something that will place Starland in even greater danger. What could be more dangerous than the negative energy she was releasing? Asked Cassie, who began to tremble so much that she had to sit down her fork. Yeah, and how much more could she really do? Vega wondered. You said that there's more positive wish energy on Starland than ever before. Plus, we already defeated her when we untitled our 12th power crystal. Won't that be enough to stop Rancor again? Even if she tries to do something else? That is my hope. But I'm still trying to find that missing page that I believe Rancora, or rather Lady Cordial, stole from the Oracle. Lady Stella replied, referring to the ancient text that foretold of the 12 girls and their roles that they would play in saving Starland. While I spend the next few days continuing my search, I suggest that you all put this out of your minds and get some rest. You've been through so much and will need your energy not only for your studies, but in the event I require your assistance again. Of course, that will depend on what I'm able to find out, Lady Stella had said. While the girls quietly pondered everything Lady Stella had said, she tried to encourage them to continue their celebration, offering them more cake and juice, but Tessa was the only one who still had any sort of appetite left. I'm sorry, girls, Lady Stella said with a frown. I hadn't intended to bring this up with you today, but it's important for you to be aware of the potential challenges that may lie ahead. Try not to worry too much. I will come up with a solution. We know you will, said Libby, her bright pink eyes glimmering with positive energy. And we can help as soon as you need us. Yes, agreed Clover, lightly tapping the rhythm of her purple facade. We will do whatever it takes. Right, Star Darlings? Right. The girls all cheered, but as they got up from their comfy chairs and shuffled out of the wish house, the mood was anything but cheery. The next morning, every last one of the Star Darlings woke up early. In fact, most of them had hardly slept at all. Vega had been exceptionally restless, plagued by nightmares about Rancora, with her piercing purple eyes and ashy skin and hair, the blazing pink collar of her long, tattered gray gown rising behind her head like a fiery flames of doom. Sitting up in bed, Vega leaned back against her headboard and began to record hollow notes on her star sap about everything she had observed about Lady Cordial. She still couldn't believe that the frumpy-dumpy director of emissions had been the evil Rancora in disguise all of that time. You couldn't sleep either? Piper asked, in a soft, ethereal voice from her side of the room as she pushed off her cozy aqua comforter and pushed her long seafoam green hair up into a ponytail. No. Vega rubbed her blue eyes and shook her head. Her chin-length cobalt bob looked perfect as ever, in spite of the fact that she was still in bed. I can't stop thinking about Lady Cordial, or Rancora. I should have realized that she might still be plotting something terrible. I know. Piper slid on her fluffy slippers, closed her eyes, and took several deep, cleansing breaths. I've been having visions ever since Lady Stella mentioned her name yesterday. Vega wrinkled her nose. Sometimes Piper's visions could be kind of out there, but other times they had proven to be right on target. What kind of visions? Well, Piper took a few more deep breaths. It's kind of scary. Tell me, Vega demanded. All right. I saw Rancora in a big dark cloud, and she had kept changing into Lady Cordial and then back into herself again. Piper can't recount it. Every time she changed into Rancora, she tried to pull us into the cloud, too, and she kept saying she wanted us to join, forced with her. Us? Who is us? Vega's eyes darkened with worry. All 12 of us star darlings, Piper said. Oh, my stars. Vega jumped out of her bed and began pacing around the room. What if you're right? What if she turns us into her negative energy minions? Her toxic trainees? We need to figure out exactly what Rancor is planning and find a way to stop her, like now. Piper widened her eyes, mystified by Vega's words. But Lady Stella said she was searching for that missing page of the Oracle, and then figuring out what needs to be done. She told us we needed to wait to hear from her. She said we needed to rest up so we could get our energy back. I know, Vega said tersely, but I don't want to sit around waiting or resting when we could be helping. We don't want to be caught off guard, right? The more prepared we are, the better. Piper shrugged and sat back in her bed while Vega raced around her room and grabbed her toothlight and rushing out to take a sparkle shower. Within minutes, she was back, getting dressed in a shiny blue zipper over a metallic tunic, paired with sparkly tights and ankle boots. What are you going to do? Piper asked. We need to go to the Illumination Library, Vega informed her. The library? Why? Piper looked blankly at her roommate. so we can try to figure out exactly where Rancor came from, Vega explained. There's got to be a hollow book there that will point us in the right direction. Hurry up, get ready. I'll holotext everyone to meet us there. Okay, Piper agreed reluctantly. A few of the Star Darlings were already out in front of the luminescent library when Vega and Piper showed up. Some more awake than others. What's this all about? Asked Endora, who was fashionably styled and usually in her shimmering indigo leggings with knee-high boots and a clec-fitted dress, her pale blue hair piled high, and a fashionable messy updo. Yeah, what's happening? Echoed Adore's roommate Tessa, shifting a yawn as she popped the last bite of a green spice muffin into her mouth. I'll tell you when the others get here, Vega replied, tapping her foot. She stared impatiently across the star quad. Finally, she could see the rest of the girls moving towards the library on the cosmic transporter. What's up? Libby asked when she arrived. We got here as fast as we could. Piper and I were up all night thinking about the whole Lady Cordial Rancor situation, Vega explained, as the others all gathered around. Piper had a vision that Lady Cordial kept turning into Rancora and was trying to pull us into some sort of dark cloud, insisting she wanted us to join forces with her or something. Seriously? Scarlet crossed her arms in frustration. You called us all the way here to tell us about that? No, Vega glared at Scarlet, whose short fuchsia hair was slightly messy from sleep. I called you here because obviously there's a lot more to Rancor than any of us realize, and we need to know more about her if we're going to figure out what she might be planning to do to us or to Starland next. Lady Stella may be doing her research, but I think we should start doing a bit of our own, too. What kind of research? Libby asked, always eager to help in any way she could. Well, for starters, we should see what we can find out about Lady Cordial, since that's who Rancor was in disguise, Vega proposed. That's not a bad idea, Sage noted. There's got to be some information about her in the faculty pages of the Star Yearbook. Exactly, Vega agreed. I don't see how that's going to help, Scarlet protested. What are the Star Yearbooks going to tell us that we and especially Lady Stella don't know? I say we give it a try, Leona chimed in, giving her shiny gold curls a confident pat. If we find out something useful, Lady Stella will think we're even bigger stars than we already are. I agree, Sage said. Me too, Tessa nodded. Ugh, fine. Scarlet rolled her eyes, giving in after all the others had voiced their support as well. Excellent, Vega said, with a smile leading the way into the library, with most of the Starling Academy campus still asleep. It was even quieter inside, than usual. The 12 girls made their way through the vast stacks of hollow books and up the windy staircase to the selection where the star yearbooks were located. The tomes collected hollowed images of every student and faculty member who had ever been at Starling Academy, along with a detailed record of everything that had happened during each school star year since the very first class had enrolled. "So what are we looking for exactly?" asked Gemma, accessing the pages of a recent star yearbook as she sat down on a plush orange couch and began to scan through each of. "This says Lady Cordial has been at Starling Academy for 2 years, and she helped to make the school what it is today." Only because nothing has been written about us yet," Leona grinned proudly, while Vega sat down next to Gemma and tapped on the image of Lady Cordial, eager to see if anything more useful might pop up. Alas, all she saw was the director of admissions shuffling from her office to Lady Stella's office, then back to her office, with an occasional moment where she spilled something or tripped. That was helping to make the school what it was today. "There has to be more information about her than this," Vega said with a frown, taking the book from Gemma and scrolling through it some more. "I'm kind of with Scarlet. Even if we find more information about Lady Cordial, what would it really tell us?" asked Andorra, sitting down next to Vega. "Isn't Rancor the one we need to investigate?" "Yes, but they are one and the same," Vega pointed out as she scrolled through the pages, moving faster and further back through the book. "True, but we might find something more informative, something she was hiding if we go to her office, or maybe even old residence in Starpuff Row," Andorra pointed out. "Andora's probably right," Sage agreed. "She's totally right," Scarlet said. "Oh my stars," Piper suddenly called out. She had wandered off and found a much older star yearbook, which she was now gazing at in widened eyes wonder. "What?" Vega asked, leaping up from the couch and racing over to grab the hollow book from her roommate before returning to the couch with it. "What is it, Vega?" Sage asked, positioning herself behind Vega so she could get a better view. "It is Lady Stella," Vega gasped as she glanced over at Piper. "Right?" "Uh-huh," Piper nodded. "So?" Scarlet huffed. "No, I mean it's Lady Stella when she was our age," Vega elaborated. "When she was just student Stella." That was enough to distract everyone from the task at hand, at least for the moment. "Ooh, I want to see." Gemma grabbed the book from Vega and studied the hollow page intently. Even Scarlet leaned in closer to see the picture of 2 teenage girls who were holding hands. The tall, sophisticated-looking one, with long, golden-pink hair, had a bright day crown on her head, was most certainly a younger version of their headmistress. "Holy stars!" exclaimed Adora, reaching over to grab the book from Gemma. "Looking how super celestial that dress is. And those boots. She was so beautiful, even back then. She and her friend looked so happy," Gemma noted. "Come on, guys," Scarlet said, "looking at old hollow pictures of Lady Stella won't help us figure out anything about Lady Cordial or Rancora or whatever you want to call her. I'm actually getting a strange feeling this Star Yearbook is really important," murmured Piper. "Piper thinks, is this important? Let's take a quick look," Dora urged. "Then we can go check out Lady Cordial's office. It's not like we have to be in class for a while. Anyway, actually, I think we should do more than take a quick look," Vega said. "As long as we're going into this old Star Yearbook, I might as well hollow hack into it. That way it'll automatically link us to an important info from any other irrelevant hollow documents, like a journey or a letter." "Wow, that's so cool, Vega," said Cassie, impressed with Vega's tech skills. So, as the girls all gathered around, Vega tapped on the images of young Stella, and a hollow video detailed her time at Starling Academy, long before she became headmistress and began to play their eyes.